Chapter 107. The Material and the Spiritual. But Enoch immediately put his hands on Adam and strengthened him, caused him to entirely recover from his fright, and thus also able to talk again. After Adam was strengthened by Enoch, he asked him at once what the phenomenon was, a deception or a serious reality. And Enoch said to Adam, "Father, it all depends on how we want to look at the matter. There are two realities, a material and a spiritual. The material is for the spirit only a deception, and the spiritual to the material. Therefore, the spiritual occurrence is reality to the spirit, and thus also the material to matter. This is the irrefutable fact of the matter. Now it depends on how you want to take the appearance. I, for my part, consider it as spiritual." And Adam said, "Well, if you view it as spiritual, I consider it as that too. But what does it mean in the outside world?" And Enoch said to Adam, "What the spiritual significance correspondingly concerns the outside world is, with the first glance, very obvious. The flaming mountain means your too loving, worried heart, and the grim crouching tigers at the foot of the mountain, your still somewhat strong inclination towards enraged contests, which at certain occasions, similar to these great striped cats of the forest, are lying and waiting for their prey. And this until they get it under their control, and then tears it apart and swallows it without the slightest mercy. And this, O Father, was the actual reason which drove you out there. That is, from your soul or your intimate love, you spied on both of them to find something that would justify your suspicion. And secretly it would have displeased you if your suspicion proved to be wrong, compared to what I have told you by pointing out to you, contrary to your opinion, that we should be completely unconcerned about both Purista and Muthal. But the Lord has therefore allowed you to see your inner state, instead of what you really wanted to see. And the spiritual reality showed you in that moment what your inner state was when you, against the will of the Lord, wanted to be a spy. Behold, Father, this is my opinion, of which I'm convinced of to the depths of my life. But if you have any other, then you are free to replace this one after all. For I do not want to force something upon anyone, and on you as the patriarch of the fathers of this earth, the very least." And Adam replied, "Yes, Enoch, you're right. So it's certain and true. But whether under my heart that loves you all beyond words, a whole herd of tigers lives, is a little hard to understand." And Enoch said to Adam, "Yes, if you look at the tiger as a murderer, my explanation will certainly look a little awkward. But if you see in it a dry, pitiless righteousness according to the law, the tiger will certainly do. For in the law lies ruthless judgment, As in the tiger lies ruthless bloodlust, and the victim it chose will certainly become its prey. Considering things this way, I think that my views surely could be right. And Adam said, Yes, considered this way, it is right and good. But let us leave this now and turn our attention to something else.